July 22nd, and I am back to do the answer part of the cesarean video I started in June 12th. So yeah, I was talking about multiple cesareans, repeat cesareans, the limit, quote unquote, cesareans, and I'll get into a little bit of why I had to have mine. 9 kids, all cesarean, a set of twins. They're almost 5. But more importantly, how I had ended up having so many, because again, quote unquote, the limit is what doctors are now saying is 4, although many women have had 5, many women have had 6, but the doctor will not tell you that. They will discourage you because it's population control. They will scare you into, telling you all these risks and giving you the option to have a tubal, or nowadays it's e-shore, and that's something that I said that before, never ever. There are women losing their lives over that procedure. You can go and Google it. You can go on Facebook. There's a whole Facebook group. And on YouTube. I would never in my life, I would rather go peacefully than to do that. I see that pencil. You want to go play? You have pencil? You princess? So. Okay. First thing, when you know, okay, you won't know. Not, most of the times you probably won't know. But I am going to say, pay attention when you are having a C-section. Ask questions. Just any question you can think of. Okay? So, Lama's class, birthing class, the instructor said at least 3 of you will have cesarean. Pay attention during that portion. I pay attention naturally. So, and I happen to be one of the 3 that ended up having them. Okay, we didn't know. I don't want to really get into a whole birth story of everybody because it'll take a long time. But if you would like, because each experience of mine was different in some way, and the recovery in some way. Not saying it was bad or, I couldn't handle it, but I did have some just a whole different experience. So just ask me in the comments to go through each one. That would be the best way to kind of explain it. Of course you all are not going to have the same experience, but you can get a feel for what all I have gone through. And I'm just going to say right now, I'm here and I'm fine. I wouldn't have it any other way. Seriously, I wouldn't. It's an emotional thing. It's a mental thing. You have to mentally prepare yourself. Sometimes you can't do that. I know the first time, like I said, I just had that one chance when the instructor said, pay attention. I had no clue I was getting ready to have a cesarean. But I didn't freak out. But I see a lot of women, especially on videos, oh, I had to have a cesarean, it was awful, it was this, it was that, and then they had a bad recovery. It's because you weren't prepared and you had that mindset. Okay, well, how am I supposed to prepare if I don't know? Well, you're watching a video, so hopefully that helps. Ask your friends, ask the nurses. They are there to help you. Anywho, I didn't, let's see, I was around 39-ish weeks. Is what the doctor thought. And back then we weren't having cesareans like they're doing now at left and right every other visit. Excuse me. I had one around 20 for the gender, which she wasn't having it, but I knew. And then at the end so he could determine the position. And he did that because I'm only 5 feet tall. I'm a very small frame person. It's 5 feet, 115-ish or something like that. I don't know. And then my uterus is tilted, which is kind of a common problem or issue. It's not really a problem. You won't know it unless your doctor tells you. Or, yeah. Anywho, he says, okay, this baby is not a very big baby. She was 6'9", and he was really spot on. And he said, you won't be able to deliver vaginally, and there wouldn't be a need to go through and labor and then not be able to do it. And that's what I see a lot of women doing today. They're so afraid to take that cesarean. I want a VBAC. It's great to have a plan like that, but reality is, do what's best for that baby and for yourself. You don't want to go through hours and hours of labor only to have to go through a cesarean. I think that would be the biggest letdown. That would depress me. Seriously, it would. If I had no clue and I had to go through all that, I would just go. So I like the fact that, yes, I can just go and say, okay, this is the day. I get a choice. Let me pick such and such day. Does this work? Yes, let me look at my calendar. And that's what I do. So, he, once he told me that, he said, okay, you come back next week. We'll pick a day, because this child is not going to turn at this point. And, yeah, once you get around 30 weeks and they tell you the baby is breached, nine times out of 10, don't do an aversion. It does not work. Just take the cesarean and be done with it. I mean, sorry, I have to put it out there. I've seen so many of those issues too. My niece just had a baby, and that's what happened to her. And it was her first child, and she's only 24. So, yeah. Yeah, no inversion. So he said to come back, and for the next appointment, I think it was on a Wednesday. And yeah, this was a Wednesday. And then we'll schedule the surgery for like the following week. I said, okay. Well, that Saturday came, and I got up early about 6:30 and went to the bathroom, and I noticed pink, and I said, okay, this is, and I just sat there, and I said, okay, something's not right, okay? Because, when you have when your first baby, you're going to make that 40 weeks plus, probably. So I was like, wow, this is kind of quick, no other signs. But then I had these 3 strong pains, which I am pretty sure they were contractions. But since I have I had very bad menstrual cramps, they didn't hurt, but they were that bad. So I said, okay, I'm having contractions too. And they stopped. I said, let me call the nurse. So I called the nurse to find out, because it's Saturday and I know the doctor's not in. And she said, okay, if, your water breaks, then come in. If not, just, enjoy your weekend. It's Saturday. Call Monday, okay? And he'll tell you then if he wants you to come in. Okay, so I'm like, okay. I didn't worry about it. And I know I was not getting ready to jump up and go to the hospital, because my husband's mother's birthday was that day, and I didn't want the baby born on that day. So, and then we were going shopping at the outlet mall, and then we had a welcome home troop party to go to for a family member. So I was not getting ready to miss the party and the shopping and baby gotta wait. So I went. And, we went walking, and I knew that would be good. And if nothing happened while I was doing all that walking, then I knew I would be fine. And so I was fine. And we went to the party, and I ate, and I was talking to people. I was having light contractions. And people were like, are you okay? Or, why are you, I said, I'm eating. I'm fine. So, I went in, I think it was probably about 10 that night. And all they did was check, and, I was not dilated at all. Nothing happened. I had no mag at that point. They weren't going to stop it, but again, it was Saturday and they didn't call a doctor in that night. The next morning around 8, they came in. They called the doctor already, and they said, I guess checking monitors and stuff like that. The doctor said, okay, I'm coming in. And so within an hour, it was like, okay, you need to go in. I don't know what he was going to do. I always said he was going to change clothes or something. I don't know. His grandmother lived around the corner, literally 2 minutes from the hospital. So he did that. And I had to say, hurry up. I was on the phone saying, hurry up and come back because I'm going in now. So I went in and I was prepped. They shave you. You get your anesthesia. You have a nurse sitting there during the whole process. No problem. They talk to you. They explain everything. And, you know, you're draped. Although now the drapes are coming down, you need to ask your doctor, look at that hospital procedure, because they are coming down and they are allowing women to actually see the process, which is amazing. And you can do the delayed cutting where they can bring the baby up to you, and I've done that. They bring the baby up to you. So, anywho, let's see. I didn't have any problem. You know, I at one point kind of felt nauseous. And that's anesthesia. And they give you some more, what have you. I didn't feel anything. They, you know, ask you right then, what do you feel after the anesthesia kicks in? And you feel nothing. And you just zonk. You're numb from the waist down. And once it hits, mine usually hits immediately, really. But once it hits, they're laying you down. And that's it. There may be another doctor. There may be another doctor in the room with your doctor. Or if your doctor's on vacation, you're going to have a different doctor. And I've gone through that too before. But talk to your doctor. Find out as much as you can. Especially when you get to that third C-section. You want to find out what your insides are looking like, meaning how is my scar tissue? What do you think, you know, as far as how many more cesareans do you think I could have? Okay, you want to ask questions like that. They'll tell you if your uterine wall is thin, if it's paper thin, what have you. If you need a transfusion, okay, you know you're having a blood loss, so you have to. There's factors that contribute to whether or not you can have a multiple C-section. Excuse me. Or not. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, once you hit 3, they're going to start talking you down. Okay? I've been there so many times. What else? I never had to have a transfusion, but I've been anemic, so I always make sure I take my iron. I looked and also asked how much blood did I lose, so that I know, you know, I'm not going to bleed to death. So that's something you want to pay attention to. Let's see. You may have to, if you have an emergency cesarean, in which my case, it wasn't an emergency, but they had determined she was distressed, and so we had to do it. Go in there. Good. I see. Like then, and get her out, you know, within you know, that day. But if you have an emergency cesarean, you may be put to sleep, and your spouse will not be able to come in the room with you, and then you don't get to see the baby till after recovery. But again, that is not the end of the world, because I've seen vaginal cases, you know, deliveries where all kinds of things go wrong and the baby's taken away. So, you know, there it is, both sides of the coin, and you get, you know, different issues. What else? Yeah, I asked him a whole bunch of questions, made sure I was fine. The baby was, like I said, she was only 6'9". And I did not have any problems. It took about 45 minutes for me to get my feeling back after the cesarean. He stitched everything up, and that cesarean, the more you have, the longer it takes. It only took about 10 minutes because he was able to get in and take her out. Okay, the last cesarean I had with Zai, it took about an hour, and that was from, well, you know what, I said 10 minutes. I want to say 15 minutes. He took her out, stitched me up. Yeah, it was about 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, give or take. And I was gone.
They got tea.
Oh, some straws. Okay.
Yeah.
The last one took an hour, start to finish. And the actual surgery part, that was from anesthesia on. Okay, that's why I said ask for other stories, because it was an anesthesia story with one of my kids, a serious one. Yeah, but from anesthesia to delivery. Anywho, yeah, the more you have, the longer the surgery will take, because they have to get through more layers, because you'll have scar tissue. Anywho, what happened after that? I said I didn't have any problems recovering. She was fine. They wanted to make sure she didn't swallow meconium, because they saw, I guess she had, it was in my water. She didn't swallow any, so she was in the NICU for that 24 hours, and that was stressing me because I didn't get to see her. They brought her to me she was born at 9:34 in the morning. I didn't get to see her till about 7 something at night, and it was only for 5 minutes. And that was because he had to say, her dad was like, look, she can't get up. Can you please bring her, down there? And that was before the cell phones with the cameras and all that kind of stuff. So, and I think we had the video camera, but I don't know what happened. But anywho, they were able to bring her out. I mean, literally, so I could look at her, and that was it. I had no idea what the child looked like. All I heard was the story was there was a Hispanic man and a daughter, and there were only girls, and they thought that my child belonged to the Hispanic man, and to the Caucasian man, and that the other child belonged to us. So, anywho, yeah, because she was so bright. She, like I said, she did come out breech. So, and she was butt first. Okay, there are different types of breech. So, butt first. So, there was no way she would have been able to come out vaginally. Sunny side up.
Mom, did you have this?
Thank you.
Mom, did you hit me right?
So, I haven't, asked him all the questions I need to ask him, or I wanted to know at that point. I learned from that point on to keep asking questions. He did tell me once he delivered her that, yes, because of the way she came out, because she was so small, because he saw, everything, that I would not be able to have a vaginal delivery with any of my kids. So I had to remember that. Okay, he delivered 2. When I got to the 3rd one, she said, you can try to have a vaginal, but we don't know. And I just said, I almost went with it, but then I thought about the scheduling thing and all of that, and then I remembered what he said, and I said, you know what? As much as I'd like to, I'm going to do this because this doctor knows. Now, that's another thing I encourage you. Try to get the same doctor, because that doctor knows your history better than anybody else. He's seen what's there. It's better than a doctor reading your records, so they know firsthand. They know how they stitched you.
Mom,
now, I did end up switching, of course, because I've moved. But I switched after the twins because I had an issue with asked for the other stories. I had an issue. So, let's see. What else? You need to ask for a belly binder before, and I say before so that you'll remember. So put that on your little list or whatnot. So you won't forget. It is free. Your insurance will cover it, okay? Okay, this is what a belly binder is. And yes, I still wear mine. You want to wear this thing 24/7 for the first 8 weeks. Except for when you take a shower. Okay? As soon as they bring it to you, let them help you get it on. Get it as snug as you can. Okay? It's going to compress. Okay? Yes, mommies are worried about their bellies. Do I care? No, because I've had this many kids. What are those things? War stripes and all. They're mine. This is stretch marks. That's what y'all call them. It's war stripes, okay? I'm not trying to get rid of them because I want them to know this is what they did. But yeah, you want to wear this thing. You can also wear a panty girdle with it. But it will hold everything together. See that? And yours might not be this snug once you first get it on, but, and this is not even tight enough. I just put it on for video purposes today, really. Okay, I'm going to show you just what I'm working with. Okay, make sure I'm decent before I do this. If you don't want to see this, look away. Okay, so that's my belly. I've seen a lot of women that have had vaginals and complain about belly, but this right here, this is a result of, how many did I say? 9? So, this little pouch, this right here, this is not going to go away. Okay, ladies? You have a cesarean, you're going to have this pouch. Unless you get lipo, major lipo. It's not going anywhere. But my stomach is flat. This is all the excess skin. You cannot get rid of it. Okay? It's just a little pooch. Here is my scar. That's it. Nice and clean. Okay? You want to have, like I said, the doctor... Thank you. They will try to, most of them will if they take their time, try to clean up what they can. But I've been fortunate that not everybody has, and you don't want this anyway. You don't want them to all cut in the same place, because that's what makes your uterine wall thin. If you keep getting cut in the exact same place. With the twins, the doctor did give me a tummy tuck. He said, I'm going to clean all of this out of you, because it had been 8 years since I had a baby. So I did have a lot of scar tissue. Not a whole lot, but a lot, because it had been that long. He cleaned all of that out. And I still pretty much, well, my stomach was a little bit bigger. And it didn't really go back down, because I ended up pregnant again. Like about 8, 9, 10 months later. So, I haven't done anything. After I had my son, I didn't have all of this either. It was even smaller after he cleaned everything up. So I haven't done anything, and I'm not worried about doing anything. I eat right. And that's another thing I wanted to point out. You need to, if you know you want to have multiple cesarean sections, you need to make sure you take care of your body. Okay? Eat right. Exercise. Take your vitamins. I did the walk away to pounds. Leslie Sansone. I did it was a video then. I started with 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 miles, 4. I ended up doing 8. I was walking 8 miles a day because it's in the house. 8 miles a day, 6 days a week. So I would walk 8 miles, and it was pretty much a 2-hour thing. I lost so much weight, it was ridiculous. I'd lost weight I didn't even gain. And with my kids, because I'm so small, I don't gain weight anyway. With the twins, I gained nothing because I was sick. With all of the last ones. With my son, I would, then I think I gained 10 pounds. And he was 5 pounds, so I didn't gain anything. The most I have ever gained is 15 pounds. 20 pounds. Yeah. So, I don't know, great genes, but yeah, I eat right. So I take care of myself so that I know that, this is what I want to do. And the doctor will not discourage me. But yes, I have been discouraged. I've had some blood pressure issues. And so that's another factor into whether or not you can continue to have them. I've had, with the last two, extended stays in the hospital due to blood pressure. Well, actually, the last one, I think I was in there 9 days, and it was mainly because of me. The one before that, it was maybe 2 days longer. So I think I was probably 8 days post before we went home. But, yeah. Comb hair. So you want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. But don't let that doctor make that determination if you know don't let a doctor limit your family size. Think about yourself. You know your body. You know what you can handle. You know your pain tolerance. Okay? What else do I want to point out? The more children you have, the more cesareans you have to be mentally prepared for that. It is a surgery. Like I said, you should go into your delivery, whether you know you're having a cesarean or not, with a positive mindset. The recovery, seriously, is not that bad because I have driven home from the hospital after cesarean. Okay? I have. They're not going to let you do it, but I have. I know a couple women that have said there's ways. Anywho, because you're on that medication. You stay on top of your medication. That's number one. They don't always have time to come and check after you. You need to make sure you're keeping track of your meds. And if you have to get, at one delivery, I had a morphine drip. Yep, because I knew to ask for that pump. And that way you can administer your own meds. But you want to stay on your meds. Even if you think you feel fine, don't stop the meds. Stay on top of those medications. At least that first week. And you should feel fine. Don't go home trying to clean up, trying to go here and there. I stayed in the bed for the whole week. People came, and that was it. But I didn't get out of the bed. I went to the bathroom, which was in my room, and that was it. No laundry, none of that. Now, the more children I had, the dynamic changed because it was just me having to do everything. So I had to get up. But I was fine. Even after the twins, I was fine. Now, they ended up staying in the hospital, but, I was fine. No infections or any of that. No problems, breastfeeding or any of that. Yeah, don't let them discourage you because it's population control. They're going to try to tell you, oh, the risk of you, continue to have C-sections like this are, they're setting you up. Like I said, if you know that you have health risk already, you need to take that into consideration. But if you are a normally healthy person otherwise, then there should not be any reason. You need to find a new doctor. Because I'm at the point where if I were to get pregnant again, the doctor has already told me, a couple of them have already said, you shouldn't, you can't, don't do this. What are they going to do? I'm pregnant. You have to deliver the baby, okay? So, yeah. Let's see. JFK's mother had 13 cesareans. I think that's the world record. So, I'm almost there. Anywho, what else did I want to say? Yeah, don't worry about getting rid of that weight. That scar is very minimal. You wear your band. Let's see. Closest children, I think I was 8 months post and pregnant again. Okay, my kids, my first set came really fast. My second set did too. They came really fast. 2010, 2012, 2013. And we're in 2015. Yeah. So they came really fast, but you know, you don't want to have them too close. Okay? Birth control, I did not do. Okay? It didn't work. It didn't work. So I learned that after the second, third one. I don't know. It didn't work. The pill or whatever. Anywho, good luck on that one. But they will try to push all kinds of stuff on you. You know your body. I personally wouldn't do it because I know my family history, and that's another thing. You need to know your family history when you're going into cesareans and things like that. Let's see, what else? Goodness. I mean, other than this, you know, this Esher issue, I just, yeah, I've been to the point where I've had papers in front of me and I'm ready to sign because I was so afraid of what might happen. And, I don't know, I just, you know, God. I just said, God's got me. And I refused. Twice I refused those papers. And then I think with the twins, you sign a pre-something or other, because I was really nervous then, because I had never had twins. I didn't know what to expect. And then they were, I was in the hospital really early with them, like 7 months. Ask for the rest of the stories. So I had the first set, and I backed out. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. So, what you doing, Zai? But yeah, you know, doing that, you know, my exercise and all that kind of jazz, that really helped. And keeping me, you know, in the place where I could to continue this. Because it's a health thing. You know, you want to make sure you're in tip-top health. No, you don't have to go walk 8 miles a day like I did. I just did it because that 4 was not doing enough for me. And that's an intense little workout, too. So, what are you doing? Yeah, I was able to, you know, handle that. I didn't change my diet. But it kicked my metabolism into gear. So I think that's the reason why with the other ones I didn't gain any weight either. It was a matter of a 10 pound and then I lost some because I was sick. Nausea, yeah, if you know, can't handle nausea. I had extreme nausea, especially with the twins. I couldn't eat. But I knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel. Now I'm going to tell you, one of my cesareans was very, very... The one before the last one, I had never had to experience the recovery. From anesthesia to recovery, I had issues. So, like I said, ask me for individual stories. You okay? And I will come back and touch on that. But again, I'm still living. Sorry, this video is like all over the place. Hope I did not bore you guys. And I'm sure there are some things that I probably left out. So I probably have to just take notes. Yes. And, you know, touch on those later. And yes, we're hitting at 35 minutes. But I just really want to stress it that do not let the doctor limit your family size because it's a personal choice. You know, don't fall into that population control issue. Because that's what it is, you know, for me to have this many cesareans and be here sick, you know, talking to you, I'm letting you know it is possible. I've heard the stories. I have a friend of mine, and I know she's going to watch this. She told her story, after her last baby, and how the doctor, the things that he was telling her, and she was smart enough to ask the questions, like I was saying, ask a lot of questions during the delivery. But the things the doctor was trying to push on her, you know. Yeah. So I'm not saying everybody's naive, but they're, you know, when it comes to cesarean, it's a whole different ball game, and it is scary. I'm not saying that I was not afraid. You know, I didn't know what to expect either. And then I always know every surgery is different. It's surgery, you know. I know what to expect in the whole of it, but there's things that can happen in between that you just don't know. There all the little variables. The same thing can happen during a vaginal delivery. So, but each one of them have been planned. They have been scheduled. Not on the some of them have not been on the exact day. Some of them. Let's see. Did you come on your day? When were you born? No, you didn't come on your day. I went from a doctor appointment straight to the hospital and she came. The last one, she was born on my 13-year-old's birthday, so she didn't come on her day either. She had me pick a day because she was supposed to be born in March or May. The twins were supposed to be born in December. They came in November. So the things like that are what would be in a different video. All right, guys, let me get in here and feed my troops. Are you hungry?
Let me pick up the straws.
I hope you guys
Mom's gonna teach you.
found this informative. Please let me know if you have a cesarean story that link me up, or just tell me you had one and you've told it on YouTube. I would love to watch it and just hear your story. If you have friends that are pregnant, family that are pregnant, please share the story with them. I, encourage every pregnant woman to watch. Pregnant, okay? Not scheduled cesarean pregnant, because you don't know if you're going to have a cesarean. So this goes out to every pregnant woman. You don't need to drink anymore. Anywho, I'll see you guys later. I've taken up enough time. God bless and be strong.